Hey, this is Steve Halleck of TikToking. As always, find me at TikToking.com. And I've started a new podcast. It is available on iTunes. It's available on Stitcher. It is a place where I can discuss more general topics related to watches and the watch industry and watch collecting. But the YouTube videos are still the best to see beautiful pieces like this. So I'm going to continue doing these too. But if you're somebody who likes podcasts, please jump over there, subscribe, TikToking, and rate it, give me feedback, whatever. I'm trying to keep that thing going and make it fun. As many avenues as I can get on, I'll get on and sort of shout the virtues of independent watchmaking and collecting good watches. Today I have some good watches, right? This is the Vianney Halter Classic, and I'm going to make this review primarily about this. But I happen to have in the background here in Antiqua as well, which I've done a full video review on before, but I figured I'd pull it out for this one since they're very, very, very rarely seen in the same place, and will be even more rare in the future. Let's talk about the Classic. Now, in 1998, Vianney came out with this watch, the Antiqua, which totally changed the world of modern independent watchmaking. This thing was insane when it came out. Really, nobody had seen anything like it, and it was influential on Max Bucer, Felix Baumgartner, François Paul Journe, all these people that are hailed as the sort of top creators in the modern watch industry, especially the independents. All will tell you that the introduction of the Antiqua was one of these sort of watershed moments in watchmaking and kind of changed everybody's idea of what a modern watch could be. But while this, may seem kind of tame now, I mean, look, it's pretty thin. It's not very big. Get it on the wrist. It's just kind of a normal size. It doesn't have the, a giant sapphire dome or anything like that. But this in 1998 was just way, way, way too crazy for most people to ever consider buying or having in a serious collection. And so, while it was a sort of critical darling and a beloved piece amongst watchmakers, and even a lot of watch collectors admired it, a lot called for Vianney to take a similar aesthetic but make a more classic watch. And that is what he did 2 years later with the Classic. So the Classic, as you can see, both of these are rose gold, borrows a lot of the same design characteristics from the Antiqua. But instead of being a perpetual calendar and having this circular case with the portholes, let's call them, coming off in each direction. This is just the single porthole, basically. And the result is really, really beautiful. The one thing with the Antiqua is the dials are so stunning and the hands are so stunning. Sometimes you just want more, and here you get more. The hands on this watch are absolutely to die for. Let me change the time a little bit and get the thing running so you can see the second hand move. And of course this is an automatic watch, and we'll talk about this mystery rotor in a minute, but it's been sitting in the safe. Let me move these guys and just look at the shape. These are hand formed and obviously hand blued, and it's just remarkable the amount of depth and sort of, if you see there, the curvature. They're really, really some of the most gorgeous, gorgeous hands that I've ever seen. And they're the really main feature of the watch. I mean, even the case, you see all the rivets and all whatever, but when you pull this watch out, the first thing you see are these stunning hands. And the dial itself is multiple steps. It's platinum. and it's all hand done with these various finishes, and it just really pops. Then the thing that totally sets it off and makes it, I think the most, really brings the whole package together is the inside of the bezel. The Rolex guys have a name for this, the Rehalt or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I think that's what they call this, and they say when it's engraved or whatever. And normally we don't talk about it much in any other brand, but in this watch, it is polished to such an incredibly high sheen finish that it is a huge design element of the watch, because anywhere other than dead straight on, it reflects parts of the dial and kind of weirdly refracts and bends and distorts them. So you can see there as we move around. And this is all just really unique and just goes to show how Vianney is, one of the true talents of the generation, really one of the most important watchmakers, and these are, in my opinion, the two most important watches that he's made. So let's take a look at this case. Pretty unique case shape. You've got a center circle that comes into these two pieces, and then the lugs come out from there. It helps the watch wear quite a bit bigger than it is. It's listed at 36, but it really wears more like a 38 or 39 millimeter watch. I'll show you on the wrist before the end of this video. You've got these studs, all hand done, placed throughout the crown, and then they're held in with this cabochon piece that I guess somehow pushes in at the end and holds all these things there. Same thing with the case. You've got these rivets that are, again, hand done, high polished. I'm pretty sure they're white gold, including the ones in the crown as well. And it gets that signature Vianney look. That's where it all comes from, basically. And again, makes it a very clear family lineage with the Antiqua. On the back, you can view the entire movement because the automatic rotor is this mystery rotor. So it's made of sapphire, and then around the edge has the weight that allows it to spin, but that entire thing is actually the automatic rotor, and you can see it's mounted right there. Again, the finish on everything is just stunning, but in that way that is quite obviously handmade, and you just don't see this type of stuff, even with the great brands that do the great finish. There's something special when you hold these few pieces that are really made by a guy in a workshop doing the best work in the world, kind of. And you have that with this watch. I'll show them to you on the wrist. This is the classic. Let me just buckle it on while you guys look at the Antiqua for a moment. And you can see there, sorry, I've got a mark from my other watch, but you can see it wears nicely. It's not, I wouldn't call this a particularly small watch. Certainly you think of 36, you think dainty, like a 36 Patek or something like that. But this watch has pretty serious wrist presence and, is very, very, very comfortable to wear and unique, but not ostentatious or anything like that. And again, just look at how the different surfaces and the finishing glisten on the wrist. And then I'm going to put the Antiqua on again just to show you the size differential so you can judge them back to back. So there's the Antiqua. It's a little bit bigger, both the circle itself and then obviously with these things protruding make it even bigger. But they're pretty similar size-wise on the wrist, certainly for wearing. This watch looks a little bit bigger, but it's still not big by any means. Now, I've had this discussion with a few people over the last week But I feel like these Viannis are some of the biggest, most undervalued pieces in all of modern horology right now. And I think the market is definitely correcting and going to correct further. But these are as important as it gets. And the true foundational pieces, you hold them and you can see, if you understand the history of modern horology, they're museum pieces. And Vianney has produced so few watches. There's 250 total classics out there. I don't know the total number of Antiquas, but I've heard there's about 30 like this. And so you start looking at that and then think about the fact that we're in a world where a Philippe Dufour Simplicity regularly now sells for $210,000 to $250,000. And then look at the market on these, and they just come up so rarely that they haven't traded up to new prices. And they're doing it now, and I had this watch for a day, and it sold in a day. And this watch I'm not selling until these new prices really happen, because they're just too good, and there's nothing else like them. And when you hold them and when you really know the story of Vianney and the influence that he's had, then you really understand how special they are. It's hard to communicate in a video. It's really hard in a picture or something like that. But they're everything that they're cracked up to be. And Vianney is just the most like whimsical, amazing, weird character in the entire watch industry. And so I just hope people appreciate these for what they are. I feel privileged actually to have these two in my hand right now. They're really, really, really lovely and important and fantastic pieces. And, they're going to go down in history as such. So I was happy to share this with you. I'm glad that I could video these together while I have them together. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please, again, check out the website. I've got lots of good pictures of both of these on the website. And as always, Instagram. Now you got the podcast to check out. I'm all over the place. I'll see you later.